Hi everyone, it's Amanda here from I Sew A Lot with my second vlog, which is my September makes. Unfortunately it's a little bit late, but better late than never. So the first thing I want to show you is, because I've actually had quite a productive month, made quite a lot of things. I've actually got I think 5 things to show you. So the first thing is what I'm wearing, and it is the Sew Over It Susie Blouse. I don't know if you can see that really well, but the light is terrible today because it's about to chuck it down with rain. And I made it out of, and if you follow me on Instagram, obviously you'll have seen all these makes, but I made it out of a cotton Swiss dot that I got from Fabric Godmother, and it's in a really nice like pale pink, and I love it. The only thing with it is it, for this blouse, it's a little bit sheer, so I have to wear a vest under it. I only had a metre of this fabric, so I managed to get all of it out, apart from the facing, which I've just used a white viscose, but because you understitch it so it turns to the inside really well. When I first made it, I was a bit worried about the collar, whether it was sitting right, because I had a bit of a thought that it might be a little off centre, and I have to admit I wasn't really very good with marking the fabric where the X's are supposed to be, so it wasn't Sew Over It's fault, it was my fault for being impatient. But actually I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I've worn it a lot and I've had quite a few comments on it as well, so great make. Okay, and the second one I'm going to show you is actually a Colette Cooper backpack. I made this for my husband, and to be honest it was a bit of a test run because I wanted to test the pattern out, but I wanted to just use some fabric that I had in my stash. It's got cotton webbing for the straps with sliders, and I've made it out of this brown cotton drill, not the best colour but quite masculine, so I think it's not too bad. It was a really nice project but a lot of sewing. So inside, you can't really see, but it's got a pocket on the front here and pockets on each side, and then inside it's actually got 4 pockets as well. And it's got magnetic snaps on the front, which I quite liked. Quite a lot of top stitching, so if you're not confident with your top stitching, be warned. The only thing I did different from the pattern was I actually put interfacing and I put fleece in the back to give it a little bit of extra padding, and I quilted it. And in the flap, it doesn't actually tell you, I don't think, to put any interfacing in the flap, and I thought it would be a little bit flimsy, especially because it's got the snaps on it, so I put some medium weight interfacing in there. It was a sew-on one rather than a iron, so, but that seems to have worked out really good. The only thing he said is that the sliders are a little bit easy to move. That's his only complaint. But yeah, really pleased with that. So that was my second make. My third make is actually, and I did mention it in my last vlog, is actually my Oliver and S Sketchbook shirt. It does also, if I show you the line drawing, it does come with a collar for the long sleeve, but I went for a short sleeve, and that's got a grandad collar, but I used the standard collar. And as I said in my last video, I made it out of some really beautiful chambray that I got from Fabric Godmother, but because of the direction of the pattern being diagonal, I found it really hard to pattern match. So I just got some navy, oh there's a bit of fluff on there, I got some navy cotton, just quilting weight cotton, and I did the yoke and also the underside of the collar and the plackets with the cotton, and it's got navy buttons down the front. Did buttonholes. I did a rounded version, I don't know if you can see, rather than the usual square, but it turned out really well, and like I say, it's probably one of the best makes I have made so far. I did my top stitching turned out really, really well as well. And it's got a little pleat in the back. And I've tried to pattern match it as best I could, but to be honest, I'm not the greatest when it comes to pattern matching. Okay, so my next make, I'm going to have to get changed for. So I will be back in a minute. Okay, right, I'm going to show you my next make, which is actually the Simple Sew Shannon Trousers, and it came free with this issue of Love Sewing magazine. As you can see from the line drawing on the back, it's actually a high-waisted, wide-leg sailor type pant with buttons on the pockets. When I made it, it was massive. I mean, I am quite slight, but not crazily so. And I sewed it up. I think I cut the size 8, although my measurements probably were closer to a size 6, which is absolutely ridiculous because I'm not at a size 6 by any stretch of the imagination. And it was massive. And I have this problem with so many patterns that even if you go by the finished measurements, they always give you so much ease, and it's just ridiculous because you spend twice as long trying to make it fit, which is super annoying. So yeah, I think I cut the size 8, which was supposed to be bust 35, waist 31.5. Oh no, sorry, that's the dress. So the trousers were supposed to be, sorry, waist 27, hips 37.5. Well, I was closer to the 6 because my waist is actually 25 and I think my hips are 35 as well. So yeah, I just thought, no, I'm going to cut a size bigger just in case it's too small. But I had to take them in so much. I'm just going to show you. I don't know if you can see, but they've got pockets on the front, which I quite like. They're quite high-waisted, and they've got a wide leg. And I made them out of black stretch cotton that I got from Sew Over It. And yeah, I had to take them in loads. I know the style of them is supposed to be wide leg, but let's be honest, I'm not really one for loose fitting clothes. I like them to always fit me quite snugly, so I did take the legs in a lot. I also added length because actually most of the time I wear a 36-inch leg, so I had to add a bit for that. I'm not sure about the pockets. I don't know if you can see, but they do poke out quite a bit, and when you've got a small waist and bigger hips, I think generally it's not the best idea because it makes your hips seem wider. But I've had some nice comments on them. I've worn them a few times. They're really comfy. It's got an invisible zip inside, and I like the fact that they're high-waisted because I quite like high-waisted trousers because I think they tend to hold you in a bit more. But yes, I really like them. Apart from all the adjustments, I thought they were going to be really easy, but actually they weren't. They took me ages. But I don't think it was Simple Sew's fault. I think it's my fault because first of all, I probably cut the wrong size. And second of all, I actually wanted a different fit to the style, which I think is intended, because I think it's supposed to be quite light, loose and wide, which is generally not my style. Okay, one more make. Just a minute. Back again. Okay, this is my last make, which is, of course, a Sew Over It Pussy Bow Blouse. And I went with this version rather than the keyhole version, because I think that's more flattering on me. I think that actually might be version 2. So I've made it from some lovely viscose from eBay, and I think the seller was Nortex Mill, something like that. I'll try and put the link down below. It was really, really reasonable. I think it was something like £5 a metre, something like that. And I put some really nice sparkly black buttons on them. This is the third Pussy Bow blouse I've made. I made a green one with pineapples on from some rayon, and I've also made one without sleeves. I think rayon is perfect, viscose rayon, whatever you want to call it, is perfect for this blouse because it drapes so well. It's just brilliant, but I love the femininity of this blouse. I cut size 8 and I don't have to make any alterations, even to the sleeves, which I have quite long sort of orangutan arms, but they still fit nicely, which is really fantastic. But I love this. The only thing I did do differently is on the other ones that I've made, I've had a bit of issue around where the bow lies, with my overlocking coming undone. It's probably my fault for not doing it high enough, but when I made this version, I overlocked the entire front of both of the middle seam of both of the front pieces. I know it probably adds a little bit to the bulk around the neck, but I found that finish much better. The other thing that I did is I'm really rubbish at hand stitching, and I make my items and then go to hand stitch it and it just ruins it. So I am a really big fan of stitching the ditch. So obviously, as it's black and I don't have any other colours on it, whereas with a patterned fabric you might not be able to get away with it quite so easily, but I am stitching the ditch for my cuffs, which I don't think really show, and also around the neckline, mainly just because it's quicker and normally I want to wear it. But anyway, that's it for this vlog. Hope everybody's liked it. I've been so overwhelmed by the amount of people that have actually watched my first vlog and commented. I've had such lovely comments and I've had so many subscribers. So thanks again to Holly Sews for creating the seamstress tag, because without it, you know, I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity or the inclination to do a vlog. But everyone's been so supportive. So I've got another video coming soon, which is my plan. Sorry, I ran out of memory on my phone then. Like I was saying, I've got another video coming soon, which is my October makes. Well, my plans, which I really need to get done because I need to get going with them, because we're already, you know, past the first week in October, otherwise I'm not going to get them done. So that should be coming next week. Thanks everyone for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and hopefully some more subscriptions this week. Thank you, bye!